October 9th, 2025. A name was whispered in the corridors of Aso Rock, a name unknown to most Nigerians, a name that would soon hold the power to make or break the dreams of 220 million people. This is not another political appointment. This is not another recycled face from Nigeria's old guard. This is something different. Welcome back to RNN TV. I am Esther Olateju. His name is Joash Amupitan, and if you've never heard of him, we're not alone. But after today, you will never forget him. While Nigeria's politicians were busy trading accusations and ballot boxes were becoming battlegrounds, there was a man in Jos, 400 miles from the noise of Abuja, who was quietly becoming the country's foremost expert on something nobody wanted to talk about: how to actually fix elections. Professor Joash Amupitan wasn't on Twitter. He wasn't at political rallies. He wasn't granting interviews about how corrupt the system was. He was doing something far more dangerous to the status quo. He was studying it, dissecting it, understanding every loophole, every weakness, every constitutional crack that allows democracy to bleed. For 35 years, while others chased power, Amupitan chased knowledge. Over 50 publications, 12 PhD students supervised, books that judges reference, papers that lawyers quote in court. But here's what makes him different from every other INEC chairman before him. He never wanted the job. April 25th, 1967, Electoral, Kogi State, a small town in Nigeria's north-central zone where everyone knows everyone, and your reputation follows you like a shadow. Young Joash grew up watching his mother, Alice Ajigba Amupitan, a teacher and church leader, show him what integrity looks like when nobody's watching. She did not preach it, she lived it. Fast forward to 1984. While other teenagers were choosing the easy path, 17-year-old Joash walked into the University of Jos to study law. Not because it was glamorous, not because it promised wealth, but because he saw something in the law that others missed. Justice isn't automatic. Someone has to build it. 1988, called to the Nigerian bar. 1993, master's degree. 2007, PhD in public law. 2008, full professor at just 41 years old. But these are not just dates on a CV. Each one represents a choice. The choice to stay in the classroom when he could have joined a big law firm. The choice to teach when he could have entered politics. The choice to build knowledge when others were building empires. By 2025, Professor Amupitan had become the Deputy Vice Chancellor of the University of Jos. His students called him thorough. His colleagues called him uncompromising. The corporate boards he sat on called him the conscience in the room. But Nigeria's democracy was about to call him something else: chairman. Let's be honest about what Amupitan is inheriting. The 2023 elections were a disaster. The BVAS machines failed. Results were uploaded late, or not at all. International observers were shocked. Nigerian citizens were furious. And INEC's reputation, it did not just take a hit, it was shattered. Former INEC Commissioner Dr. Mustapha Lekki said the new chairman would face reputational damage from day one. Yaga Africa, the election watchdog, is already demanding urgent reforms before the upcoming governorship elections. And then there's the elephant in the room, Professor Amupitan's 2016 opinion. Years ago, he argued in an academic paper that so-called budget padding, when lawmakers inflate budget figures, might technically be legal under parliamentary procedures if done within their constitutional powers. He wasn't saying it was right, he was saying it was lawful. But in Nigeria's political climate, nuance doesn't survive. Critics on social media are already digging up this old paper, asking, is this the man who will protect our democracy? But here's what the critics are missing. That 2016 paper wasn't defending corruption. It was exposing something more dangerous, the gap between what we think the law says and what it actually says. And that is exactly why Nigeria needs Joash Amupitan. Think about it. Who better to fix a broken electoral system than someone who has spent decades studying every crack in its foundation? Who better to close legal loopholes than the man who identified them in peer-reviewed journals? You don't need a politician to fix democracy. You send an engineer, and Amupitan is the engineer. President Tinubu called him a distinguished scholar and a political figure. Governor Ododo of Kogi State called him a man of integrity. The cable's analysis said his knowledge of electoral law reform could strengthen enforcement. Even his critics admit, this man is competent. But the real question isn't whether he's qualified. The real question is, can one man change a system designed to resist change? Here is what is at stake. Upcoming governorship elections, the 2027 general elections, every local council poll, every state assembly race, every single time Nigerians try to choose their leaders, they're rolling the dice on whether their votes will count. Amupitan inherits more than an office. He inherits a question that Nigeria has been asking since 1999. Can we actually have free and fair elections? And here's the uncomfortable truth. The answer depends on him. Will he deploy technology properly? Will he punish electoral violence? Will he stand up to governors who try to manipulate results? Will he face down political pressure from the same presidency that appointed him? On social media, reactions are split. Some Nigerians are celebrating. Finally, a credible appointment. Others are cautiously optimistic but watching closely, asking, will it truly be independent? But maybe, just maybe, the answer lies somewhere in between. Maybe Joash Amupitan isn't a hero sent to save us, nor is he someone's pawn. Maybe it's something Nigeria hasn't seen in a long time. A man who actually cares about the work more than the power. Professor Joash Amupitan is 58 years old. He spent 35 years teaching law. He's written over 50 publications. He supervised dozens of graduate students. He sat on corporate boards and university councils. But none of that prepared him for what comes next. Because reforming INEC isn't an academic exercise. It's a battle. Against vested interests. Against institutional inertia. Against politicians who profit from chaos. The question isn't whether Amupitan is smart enough. He clearly is. The question isn't whether he's experienced enough. His CV proves it. The question is, does he have the courage to be hated by the people who appointed him? Only time will tell if the scholar from Electoral can become the statesman Nigeria desperately needs. But one thing is certain, the 2027 elections are coming. And when they do, Joash Amupitan won't be invincible anymore. He will be the man we blame, or the man we thank. What do you think? Can Professor Amupitan fix Nigerian elections? Drop your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more untold stories from Nigeria's corridors of power. Thanks for watching RNN TV.